What's up, it's your boy Daquan back in here with Borderlands 3, aka Loot Farm Simulator, especially this week because we need those anoints pretty bad. So, inside of this video, I'm going to show you one of the best Flak builds for Flak the Third. It is a launcher setup variation that works very well for AoEing the enemies down, as well as getting AoE'd yourself if you're not too careful. Works out extremely well, able to clear pretty fast, and it's pretty smooth, and it doesn't feel bad to play. So, let's hop right into it. So we're going to start off with the lump. Now the lump right here, it is the star of the show. It is as ugly as it is powerful. And as soon as I said ugly, it blinked. So that is some insanely odd timing. So it comes in blue as well as purple. You can find this just about anywhere. When you are searching for it, you probably won't be able to find it because that's just the way that this game works. This is a pretty base form. This is a gun that we are using inside this video and it does a ton of damage. You do want either a corrosive one or a radiation one. The corrosive one has a benefit of having the artifact right here. That's going to go ahead and give you that 125% damage boost without you having to shoot yourself in the foot to reapply it or stand next to a nice explosion and become a child of Chernobyl or whatever. But we are using this good old corrosive gun to do a ton of damage when you shoot off the individual rockets. Each of the, well, not rockets, they're like floating orbs of death and destruction. But when you shoot those off, the individual beams can proc Megavore. This will work well with your Leave No Trace. And then Leave No Trace will allow you to continuously like shoot out this gun. It has a relatively pretty slow like charge shot. Let me go ahead and do that so you guys can see. So this is how fast it shoots normally. So inside of your setup, you do want something like weapon charge speed. So that way you can get this shot reduced to a pretty decent little amount. And you can just chain fire these things off. And these are the two rockets. They shoot down little beams, do a ton of damage. Megavore helps out, as well as Unblinking Eye inside of your skill tree. And this gun is amazing. Probably one of the best launchers in the game right now, depending on who you're playing. The aspect of it that works better with Flak rather than Moze is that Moze doesn't have any speed boost. And Flak has a good amount of speed boost inside of his kit. Since this thing is like a slow moving projectile, you want to go ahead and reposition a lot of the time. And so that way you can go ahead and AoE down a lot more of the individuals. It's a pretty good gun. Works well with Flak in this setup. And it's kind of like a whole pseudo-Moze thing that you're running for. And it is... I hate this gun. It's so ugly. This is an ugly gun, bruh. This is the butterface of guns. So the key things really inside the setup are going to be Leave No Trace and the Megavore. Give you a nice little constant stream of DPS. As well as head count. That's going to allow you to rinse and repeat your fadeaway. We're using Until You're Dead instead of Gorillas in the Mist. This is going to allow us to get a nice string of health regeneration for us and our pet. And then the movement speed helps out quite a bit as well. Due to the lump being a relatively slow projectile, we like to be able to reposition relatively fast, so we use this. And then we have Unblinking Eye. This in conjunction with Megavore is going to allow us to get a lot of crit damage out. And that's the pretty basic setup. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy about it. If you were running Gorillas in the Mist, you would have to change shoot at an insanely fast pace for it to somehow beat out Until You're Dead. The reason why we don't run Gorillas in the Mist is because you were able to shoot, and then the DPS is just pouring out of the series of destruction and raining down on the enemies. And then we're able to just casually shoot, rinse and repeat. If we do have to reload, we can reload, and we can just do whatever we want inside of those 15 segundos. In the following panels, you'll have a detailed breakdown of each individual tree and why I picked up particular skills. This is in written format and they have timestamps in the description below as well. So you can pause on it. Information that you do already know, you'll be able to skim through it. And information that is new to you, you'll be able to find it relatively easy. Here we have the Big Boom Blaster, perfect for when you want a big boom blast a biodome. This thing is going to come with 60% more shield refill, which is cool. You don't really have too much shield inside of this setup. You have the infinite grenade as well as the infinite heavy ammo, which is the main focus of this build. your shield is going to be full most of the time when you are inside of stealth. This is going to allow you to get that extra 20% damage, and then you'll be able to automatically pick up those power charges as well due to the change that they recently did, which is muy bien, and helping this build just work out way more smooth. So inside this build setup, we're going to use the Unescapable Sellout. You can use any good splash gun or any good splash weapon that you do have, which will go ahead and allow you to proc the Big Boom Blaster. And it should pop with shield charges. We can see that we were at 9, but now we're at 10. This is going to go ahead and give you a nice little consistent dot. We hear the sounds, sometimes they come out, not 100% of the time, so that's something that you do want to pay attention to. It is a little buggy. And you do something like that. And you can chain shoot yourself and just have them come out a bit faster. And there you go, you have the whole infinite loop right there. And of course we were picking up heavy ammo as well. And one thing to keep in mind, you can see that we're at 5 and 26. Now we're at 5 and 27. This does not go over to your magazine, it only goes over to your additional ammo. So for getting your ammo back inside of your direct magazine, you're going to want something like Leave No Trace inside the kit. So we have Leave No Trace inside the setup, so our Murphy's grenades can return ammo back to our launcher. This allows us to become a mini Moze basically. So I'm going to try something a little bit different on the channel. This is going to be the first time that I do this. So a buddy of mine actually is putting together Borderlands videos now. This is his first Borderlands and wanted to show my man some support out here. Show the homies some love, you feel me? And so he put together a video for the Big Boom Blaster. Now this is a guy that was selling like Kirby vacuums for quite a bit. He told me that he stopped selling Kirby vacuums and he moved on to better things. This guy was always trying to sell me these $1,500 vacuums I didn't need, but he hopped off of that. He's on Borderlands now, so let's go ahead and check out this video for the Big Boom Blaster Shield.
How good is your cordless vacuum? Does it have enough power? Can it tackle the toughest dirt? Does it clean for long enough on a single charge? Does it look this good?
So here's a quick little gear wrap up. Run the lump, run the Unescapable Sellout. One thing for Terra, if you do run ammo regeneration, it does not help out the heavy ammo at all, unfortunately. So run something with damage or damage reduction. Third slot, you do want to run something like a shotgun. Shotgun will work out relatively well due to this being a Megavore setup. Be able to do a ton of damage, and this is going to help you out in situations where you are down and you have no ammo left. So having something like a strong shotgun or something that can pick you up relatively fast will be able to help you out with that second win when you do not have a pet nearby to go ahead and save you. For the fourth slot, you can run something like a Luda. Luda will work out well to fill out the build, allow you to kill Grave Ward relatively fast, or whatever Grave Ward killing gun that you do feel works out best for you. We already talked about the Big Boom Blaster, nothing really to add about this. You can run a Terra variation of this as well and get a really nice setup. And then for the reoccurring hex, you can run a Terra variation of this also because you do not need the regeneration from the grenade due to you already in it from the Big Boom Blaster. So you can have fun with a 3-slot Terra setup that will just eat through everything. So you can have pretty huge upgrades for this build, even though it is super strong. For the class mod right here, mainly I just was looking for the weapon charge speed. The Bounty Hunter does help out a little bit. Not anything super duper important. I would recommend using either the Bounty Hunter, having the Cosmic Stalker will work out as well, or having a Bushmaster with Leave No Trace also works out relatively well. So the Leave No Trace extra procs, this will put you at about 72%. You'll be able to get your ammo back relatively fast just using the reoccurring hex as well as the lump. This just makes the whole process work a little bit smoother. And the difference between these two, really for me, and the reason why I ended up using the Bounty Hunter, is because of the weapon charge speed. You're able to mow down enemies fast enough to not really need the Bounty Hunter to be proccing. Of course, you want to use the Bounty Hunter for bosses, but in normal mobbing, you can just run whatever you feel is the best for you. Key things that you do look for are going to be weapon charge speed. Something like splash damage works out well. Damage reduction is pretty cool. And then something to help out your torques or heavy weapon also helps out. If this one did have weapon charge speed on it as well as like the heavy damage or just weapon charge speed, I'd probably end up running this instead of the class mod that I'm running right now. And then for our artifact, we're running a flesh melter auto idle. We went over this already. You want to either run the auto idle portion of it or run like a victory rush. Either one works out fine. The auto idle is going to allow you to sustain a little bit better. So that's pretty much it for the build. If you guys have any questions at all, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'll be in there as always. The rest of this video is just going to be running through the slaughter shaft so that we can see a full gameplay of that. I did go down a couple of times inside of that, never did lose the credits in any run that I did for this one. This one has neutral modifiers. I actually think this is negative 20% gun damage. It's actually negative 20% gun damage. So this is a negative run, but it's not that detrimental anymore due to them changing it up quite a bit. But we're running through Slaughter Shaft. It was a relatively fast clear. You can upgrade this build quite a bit using the Terra stuff. And that's it. It's your boy Daquan. I'm outie.
Slaughter! Hell yeah! Time for more slaughter! This is it! That way! The dude you need!
suppose I'll take that. Let the hunt take you!
Let's go another fucking round! Crash some shit!
They'll never never see me coming. Ammo's out. This was always your end.
Sacrifice some heretic for the rightful good. The children of the vault are always kept flawless. Bring gods on head to them and remember, the great vault beckons. Blessed are men, for they are the true children.
Get